how their own struggles led them to start and get more involved with this organisation to help others through creativity.
Nancy, could I start by asking you what it is that made you start Creatful in the first place?
I launched Creatful in 2021. I've always been a creative, but had kind of gone to uni, come out of uni, went into the corporate world to finance, my life and the things I wanted to achieve. I've always had some kind of underlying mental illness or difficulties with my mental wellness. And in 2020, I had one particular crisis point, which just made me look at my life and what I was doing, and I just knew I had to kind of change my own day-to-day approach. As a part of my recovery, I'd gone into my local community to find like a creative space where I felt I could start socialising again and connecting with people locally, and I couldn't find my space. So kind of those two things kind of mashed together, and I was like, well, I'm going to change my lifestyle and do something different, and what I want to do is try and create some of these spaces in our community so people like me can go and meet others and access art and crafts and other creative pursuits. That's kind of where we started out.
That's absolutely amazing to take such a difficult situation of your own and be proactive and make something so wonderful out of it for others. That's really commendable.
Oh, thank you. Well, sometimes it feels like quite selfish as well, because a big driver was I knew that my life the way it wasn't working for me. And I was doing well in the corporate world and kind of progressing, and money was coming in and whatever else, but I just knew it wasn't for me. It wasn't bringing me joy. It wasn't filling my cup. So there's more than one driver. Yes, it's great as well that we get to help loads of people now with what we're doing. But I'm really privileged and grateful that I'm getting to do that too. So.
But I think, being selfish isn't always a bad thing.
No.
And if you know, that's something that I think an organisation like you can teach people, is that it's important. Self-care is more than just a bubble bath, So doing things that help you yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, Lara, how did you get involved? How did you hear about Creatful, and how did you get involved with Nancy?
A bit like Nancy, I struggled sort of all my life, bounced around and coped pretty well. I'd gone back to college to study to be a counsellor. So during my studies, I qualified during lockdown. So I was seeing clients online, I wasn't seeing people myself, and I had my own crisis. And I ended up in inquiry for 3 months, had treatment there, came out, and I think I must have found Creatful whilst I was getting better. Again, looking around at what is out there to help. Obviously being a counsellor and a community-focused person, I guess. I'd also set up a Denley community cafe. This was before lockdown, which was to combat social isolation and loneliness. A chap at Community First that had helped us sort of look for funding and things had sent me a message, or sent us both a message to say, you two really need to speak. And then I came along to one of your Monday groups, didn't I? Then I became a volunteer, then I became a director, and we're both driven by our experiences, aren't we?
Yeah.
Seems like you've come a very long way in only 3 years. What sort of services do you have available, and is it all workshops, or is counselling part of it?
It's quite a varied approach, which I found is what you need in community world to be successful, because you need to have a diverse offering to meet all the different parts of your community, their needs, but also to be able to be a sustainable community business, because you do need funding and you need to be able to approach different funders and such to make things work. So we've got almost every day of the week we've got something going on. We have regular groups. They're more like daytime craft groups almost, that's how they look. But they're very much about that, like overall support, friendship. Yes, we're doing arts and crafts, but we're having a chat, we're having a cup of tea. We've got leaflets out about what else is going on in the area, local mental health services and such. We've got an amazing volunteer team. I think we've got 15 volunteers now that have come along with us. So like on a Monday we're in Waterlooville in the mornings, and we have a Ukrainian orphanage in Petersfield in the evenings. On Tuesdays we're actually down in Portsmouth in Buckland. On Wednesdays we've got a lovely group that meet in Denmead. On Thursdays we do a kids club. On Fridays we've got another Ukrainian art group. And then around all of that we're doing other kind of random creative events where we're again sharing arts and crafts, but we're also making sure we're talking about our mental wellness and neurological benefits of being creative. So in a couple of days we're running an event with the Girl Guides, the Bear Forest division. So there's going to be hundreds of Girl Guides kind of creating with us all day to celebrate their 50th anniversary. In a couple of weeks we're kind of getting into festival season, as in like local summer festivals and fates. We'll be doing some of them as well, and so yeah, it's really varied and really good fun. We meet lots of different communities and people.
Such a lovely chat, and personally I think Creatful is a genius idea to connect and help people in and around Petersfield in a fun, relaxed way. And we're going to hear more details on ways that you can get involved with Creatful from Nancy and Lara a little bit later in the show. Now on Shine Radio, it's time for the local headline. Struggles with mental health led them to want to help others by getting groups together to share knowledge on their creative pursuits, or just to simply get out the house and have a chat with like-minded people. Here's more from them now.
It's so lovely that you're spread to different areas within our wider community. That's really great. Obviously our listeners are mostly based in Petersfield, but they can get around to you in different areas, which is great.
I mainly run Creatful from my home. We have a garage, which is our storage space, so that we can move around. We don't want to be in one place only really reaching one set of people. We like that variety. And
I think we've grown organically as well, haven't we? Because what we thought might work didn't.
Yeah.
So we tried things and we changed things. I mean, we've done quite a few evening workshops on various arts and felting and sewing, and the ones that don't work we don't do, and the ones that do work, we'll go on and do again.
We're just constantly evolving and listening to what our communities want from us, because, well, that's how community business works. You don't have a community business unless you're giving the community what they need.
Yeah.
And also as a part of, I guess, us trying to make sure that we are hitting those values in regards to helping people's wellness. We need to hear what works for people, what they want, providing things at different times of the day, evening, weekends, all of that flexibility is really important to what we do, because we don't necessarily know what's going to work, what's not going to work, or what people want. They have to tell us, and then we'll create things that will...
Absolutely. Well, you started from doing what you felt you needed, and then being able to then take on the feedback from others and what they need, and it seems to be working pretty well, so that's great. So how can people get in touch with you to get involved in your workshop groups?
There's lots of different ways people can contact us. So we have a main website, which is creatful.co.uk, and Creatful is spelled without an E, so it's CREATFUL.
Yeah.
And from our website you can see everything that's coming up event-wise. You can book onto the events. Some of our events might be funded, so they might be free for the community. Some of them are paid for because they're not funded and we need to cover costs. You can get our email address through there as well as a contact form. We're on Facebook and Instagram and those type of things. So if you search for Creatful, we should come up.
Perfect. And with regards to volunteers and fundraising, is that something people can also get involved with?
Absolutely. So generally our volunteer team are just another group of my friends.
Yeah.
Or that's what they've become. We didn't necessarily know each other beforehand. So what I usually suggest is come along to one of our groups, meet us, make sure it feels right for you, and then we just get people involved. And we have a little WhatsApp group, like everyone does for everything now. And they're really supportive, and a lot of the volunteers are now friends with each other and go off and do other things together and such. And with regards to fundraising, we are always looking for funds, especially when we're trying to reach communities that maybe are deprived or we just can't get access to funds for. there's again lots of ways you can support us with that. There's an area on our website where you can see the different ways you can help us fundraise through donations of materials or monetary donations, or just give me a call and we can chat through things.
Honestly, Nancy and Lara are two of the kindest women I've had the pleasure to meet, and they made me feel very comfortable and at home. So if Creatful sounds like an organisation you'd like to know more about, but you're a little apprehensive to reach out, let me just reassure you that they will be nothing but supportive and helpful. So if you are interested in any of their upcoming workshops or events, or maybe you fancy doing some volunteering yourself, do reach out to them through createful.co.uk. Remember, that is Createful without an E. Or you can find them on Instagram or Facebook.